Hello, I'm Jason with Beyond the 40. Today I'm going to show you how I process wild game meat. This is a goat that got shot, so it's been aging for about 3 days. Usually like to try and make them go a little longer, but I actually have to go back to work and I want to get it put in the freezer before any of it goes bad. So today I'm going to walk through what I do to process a wild game animal. So I'll show you what I have to process wild game. Outdoor Edge game processing kit. This is a cutting board. And this is actually a mud flap off a brand new Kenworth. It's a steel cookie pan for my steaks, a big bowl for my hamburger, and all that is a bowl full of hot water, vinegar, and a rag, just to kind of help clean up and stay somewhat sanitized. First cut I usually do is I take the shoulder off. We'll do that first, and then we'll start working on the hindquarters. On the hindquarters, you can kind of see these white lines right here, and these white lines pretty much are an outline of where you're going to cut, or at least how I do it anyway. Cut, and then it comes up and you kind of got yourself a chunk of meat here, and then also one on the bottom, and in that we'll pick those apart and see what we can save for steaks and roasts. So to start off here, we'll be using the butcher, the bigger knife, and basically all you're trying to do is take this shoulder off. It isn't held by any bone or anything like that, so it's just cartilage. So I just remove this shoulder here. The reason why I remove that one first is because work the back strap over. To get all the back strap, you gotta remove the front quarter. We'll put this aside and we'll mess with this a little later. So second cut, I'll move my tag here. We're gonna start up here and we're gonna follow that white line that we talked about and come back up around his butt and get this piece right here off here. And then we'll take it over to the butcher table and start to dissect it. So here's the front shoulder that we took off. We're just gonna leave that one to the side, and this is that first roast that we just took off. So I'm gonna swap out my butcher for my fillet knife. I guess one thing that I did learn is don't put a whole bunch of pressure on it. You end up with a serrated knife. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't make the perfect shot on this antelope. Got into the guts a little bit, so anybody that's cleaned a gut shot animal knows it kind of gets a little messy. So we're going to peel off all that meat that was exposed to guts. Throw it in our trash bin. So like I said, you see the 4 pieces here. These 2 are gonna be steaks. We're gonna clean it up, keep it as a loin. We can throw it on the Traeger, we can throw it in the oven. Just try and trim it up somewhat square. That piece is going to hamburger. This piece is gonna be cut into the steaks. Usually just take a chunk off the end to where it squares it up a little bit. That chunk goes to hamburger. Same thing on this end, just so you have a nice even steak. Then I use the big knife here. And I like thicker steaks, so I usually shoot for like 3/4 of an inch. Take a 3/4 of an inch bite, and you end up with a nice little steak there. So here we got the front shoulder. Front shoulder's about the same. You kind of see the line you got here. You'll start by following that, just coming up behind the elbow. Go up to this bottom piece. I'm gonna call it an 8 because That's what I think it is. And that's what you end up with. Same thing with this guy. You're just following seams. Work on taking the back strap out. As you can see the spine going down, and then you can kind of see this white line on the side. Those are kind of your marks to work off of. Meat right there, which, ooh. Okay, we got the back strap over to the cutting board, and we'll work on dissecting this little guy. That's all one side, so all you do is just repeat it to the other side. You're gonna go back through and clean up whatever you can for hamburger off this side. Now I'll show you the burger building process. So I'll show you the I guess packaging part of it. I use a Food Saver vacuum sealer, and then I just try and get about a pound of burger or however many steaks that you think your family can eat in a meal. Put it in the bag. Pretty simple devices. Slap it in the old sucking tray. Sucks all the air out of it, then goes ahead and heats it up, seals it. Hear it kick off, grab an old Sharpie, label the year that it was harvested, what it is. I put goat burger. And that's pretty much my process. Definitely not the cheapest meat you'll ever eat, for sure. You can't win that argument with your wife, but that's it. Thank you for watching.